So welcome everybody to another session of Tony and Aidan talking with people in the community. Today we're catching up with Murray Hill, who is the or manages the Milford Business Association, which is an area close to our hearts here and a key part of the Devonport Takapuna local board area. I know Murray's been part of the community for a long time with a lot of family history in the place, and I've had probably 10 years worth of time with Murray as far as Channel Magazine goes and the Milford community. Really respect the energy that Murray puts into things in the community there. It goes well beyond, I think, what is required, which it reflects in how good Milford is looking and the future of Milford. So welcome, Murray. That's a pretty good wrap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Aidan.
So I guess the first question is, for you, you've lived there for a long time. Why do you think that Milford is such a special place?
I actually think it's the people, and it's all sorts. So, like, it's the business owners, it's the landlords, local community, and all the local organisations. They all feel it's their community. They're all part of it and want to be part of it, and they support us well because of that.
So, Murray, you've been a bid manager, a business improvement district manager in Milford for quite some time, over 10 years, is it?
It's about 10, yeah.
Yeah, and so can you tell us in a snapshot view what that role entails and how you play that out?
Well, I think it's you have to make the place a place where people want to come and shop and feel comfortable. And so it's got to be vibrant, it's got to be clean. You need to run promotions that people want to be involved in. And, it's all about relationship building too with, different organisations, normally sort of council ones, because that becomes the key to sorting a whole lot of things out. It's easier to have a person as a go-to rather than try to go through sort of what I call official channels.
So, sorry, Aidan, I was going to ask, can you just give us some examples, Murray, of some of the events and activations and campaigns that you've led in Milford that people may not know as a business association initiative?
Well, we've got the two major ones, our Viva la France and Pirate Market Day, which always seem to be well-received events. We do a number of promotions where there's travel involved, and we get good support from local businesses for those sort of things. But we also, I guess, working in another area where we've turned what I felt was a negative situation loose in a whole lot of car parks in Milford Road into a project we're now calling the Milford Bus Hub. And so we're trying, in this case, to encourage our people to use the buses, particularly for the short trips. I mean, you can get in Takapuna really quick. And that just frees up car parking, which everyone always wants to park outside the shop that they want to go to,
What I really enjoy about Milford is the fact that it's still very much a village. I go through there every day on my way to work and do lots of our shopping and what have you there as well. And what I like is it is a village, and you have the community doing a lot of extra things there, don't you? And that the work that Rotary's doing there at the moment around the beautification of the place is quite special. How did they get involved, and what are they doing?
Well, they got involved because we wanted to repaint the seats in the main street. And I'd been doing a similar thing with Rotary in Browns Bay when I was up there. And I approached our local Rotary in Milford, and they were more than keen. And now they're almost like the permanent gardeners, caretakers for Milford. Normally Wednesday 9 o'clock they pop down, and they're just like an organised machine. You know, if you got anything to be done, they get it done super quick. And the neat thing is, I have a coffee with them normally part way through it, and I learn as much in that coffee break as they probably enjoy having a coffee break. So it's sort of having that connection with the community. And I mean, they're not only doing that sort of thing for us, but now they're getting involved in, well, they're already taking over all the gardening side for me, so I don't have to really organise it so much now. And they're involved in our boardwalk project. You know, when we want to sell the planks for it, they help us out. And I think they've just joined the birdsong project as well. So, like, by connecting with the different community groups, we're sort of enhancing the whole of the Milford area, not just the shopping centre, you know, because I see we can't just focus on the shopping centre. We have to focus on the community. We are the biggest part of the community, and we've got to make sure we're seen that way.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you've done a really good job of that, Murray, and the village is looking quite special. But obviously we're talking right now from another lockdown in Auckland, and it's been a really tough year for all businesses, and you're starting to see in some town centres shops emptied out, which is really sad. What does that look like for your businesses in the association there? And what can the community do to support the sort of economic development and kind of getting back on track?
Well, I think even during COVID, we've seen the local community getting out and at least buying coffees and meals and things from our cafes and food outlets. But I mean, they are really having a hard time at the moment. So the best thing is that they can get out and, you know, have some meals, do their local shopping. But the reality is that from the market view data we get, I think 97% of Milford customers in our catchment already do all the shopping they can in Milford. So we have to be smarter and just look at what don't we offer in Milford that we need to bring in, so it gives us an extra income stream for the centre. And we're looking at doing that at the moment with a customised report with Market View.
What I like about you, Murray, is you never leave a stone unturned, and I know since being on the local board that you're there regularly. You're knocking on our doors regularly and making sure that we are involved in thinking about Milford. So clearly Milford, what's happening in Milford doesn't happen just, you know, out of thin air. There's people like yourself that's pushing for things to be done. There's a bit of change happening there with apartments and what have you. Can you tell us about sort of what's coming up in the future for Milford in terms of development?
Yeah, well, the other day, I think it was just as we went into lockdown, the first of the concrete slabs were going up for the new apartments in the Umana North development for the mall. And that's a development of 63 apartments, which, you know, I think will be great for Milford because it's the start of getting apartment living in Milford. There's a second block on the corner of Pierce Road called Milford 110, and that is starting in January of next year. So, I mean, we haven't had much in the way of apartments, and I think, you know, people do like to live in apartments, no matter what locals say, and they're all customers for the area, and the ones that will be in Umana North will just have a huge advantage. Just shoot down the lift and they're in the shopping centre. And, you know, to me, the shopping centre, okay, they go down to the Milford Centre Mall, but they'll spread out to all our shops. You know, Milford will be home. When we have the boardwalk finished, they'll just walk across the road, down the boardwalk, be at the beach. I mean, awesome sort of location. And the interesting thing is really, you know, when you compare the value for the apartments, I think a one bedroom is 1.18. Well, a one bedroom one right down on the end of Milford Road sold recently, I think, for 1.25. It must be 40, 50 years old. And sure, it's on the beachfront, but I don't think it will have the same facilities, you know. So I think it's exciting times, you know. And, you know, I'm sort of certainly embracing it. And for town centres like ours, if you can't get that additional volume of people, I think they'll just fade away.
Yeah. Just to finish off, you've obviously a big advocate of the Milford Centre Plan and have been involved in the Milford Centre Plan. That's a key guiding document for Milford, and I think it was put together, was it about 5 years ago? Was that correct?
Yeah, I think it was around about 2014.
Yeah, so 5 or 6 years ago. So your wish list, looking at that Milford Centre Plan, again putting pressure on ourselves as local board members, what are the key things from that plan that you'd like to see progressed sooner rather than later?
Well, obviously the boardwalk, because I mean it's at a stage where there's a costing for it, there's a plan for it. We just need to push the button. I mean, we've got 80%, which is going to be a bit of a tall order, but I see it as a challenge rather than and an opportunity rather than anything negative.
And that boardwalk goes from the bottom of Kitchener Road through to virtually the marina, doesn't it?
Well, now the new shortened version starts halfway down Amana Road, so it's about the exit to the car park in from RPG. But it could be extended later on to go up to the top. So I mean, I think that would be my key project. I would love to see the plan for the street put in place, though, where we widen the footpaths, we take out the exit to the main car park, and that the entry to the car park, and that entry becomes beside the current exit down by the senior citizens hall, because the space is there already, and it just means in terms of events and things in Milford, you've got a much bigger space, and if people the Milford Centre Plan, they can see how it can be used for events. It's quite effective. I mean, to run the same events, we're doing it by closing the road. And last time we did it, people just said, when are you going to do it again? But if we can do it without closing the road, it's probably advantageous as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the chat, Murray. For those who are listening in, Murray's just bought an electric bike, haven't you? Joined the electric bike brigade. So Murray can be seen whizzing around between Milford and Takapuna and further afield in your electric bike. So well done. But thank you very much for the chat. I think hopefully people will learn a bit out of what we've talked about. So thank you very much, Murray.
Thanks for the opportunity, guys. See ya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.